Hello and welcome to cryptoTV. I'm your news host Parvati Narvan, and let's go through the world of crypto with today's English news bulletin. Biden to sign an executive order on crypto to plug Sanction loopholes. Ethereum NFT platform Immutable raises $200 million valued at $2.5 billion. Stanford researchers raised $32 million for privacy-focused Espresso blockchain. Bitcoin trades below $39,000 on intense Russian onslaught. Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak says Bitcoin is pure gold mathematics. Spanish lender launches loan tokenized by Commodities. European Union crypto regulation bill goes to vote next week. Morgan Stanley increases GBTC shares. US President Joe Biden is expected to sign an executive order on cryptocurrency this week that will mark the first step towards regulating how digital currency is traded. The move comes as administration officials have raised concerns in recent weeks about Russia's use of cryptocurrency to evade the impact of crushing sanctions in response to its invasion of Ukraine. The sanctions have sent the ruble to historic lows and have closed the country's stock market. The order is expected to describe what government agencies, including the US Treasury Department, need to do to develop policies and regulations on digital currencies. The order will also explore the possibility of new central bank digital currency. Australian non-fungible token startup Immutable said it had raised $200 million in its latest round of funding led by Temasek. The company's valuation in the latest round of funding jumped to $2.5 billion from $410 million in September 2021. The funds will be used for its global expansion and also to invest in the expanding Immutable X platform gaming studio, including its flagship games, Gods Unchained, one of the largest blockchain games by players, and Guild of Guardians, the company said in a statement. In February, the firm had announced a partnership with GameStop to launch company's NFTs marketplace. GameStop and Immutable established a $100 million fund dedicated to supporting creators of NFT content from gaming studios, Web3, and metaverse gaming. Collaborators at Stanford University have raised $32 million in funding for Espresso, a new Layer 1 blockchain focused on privacy and decentralization with lower gas fees. Espresso uses zero-knowledge rollups to achieve greater throughput by consolidating transactions into a single proof. The company behind Espresso, called Espresso Systems, is led by 4 co-founders. The latest funding round was led by Greylock Partners and Electrical Capital, with participation from Sequoia Capital, Blockchain Capital, and Slow Ventures. This funding will be used to provide the resources necessary to grow the team researching, building, and implementing the infrastructure and products that will make Web3 ready for broad adoption. Bitcoin fell for a third straight day as investors stayed away from the risky assets such as cryptocurrency as Russia intensified its attack on Ukraine amid failed talks. Ukrainian civilian casualties mounted as Russia continued to bomb non-military targets. Talks between Ukraine and Russia failed with negotiations for safe passage to citizens of the Black Sea port of Mariupol and other major Ukrainian cities coming to a naught. Investors worried about rising energy prices that have already increased significantly over last few months and wider inflationary pressures. Bitcoin was trading at about $38,350, off slightly over the past 24 hours. Ethereum was at $2,500, down nearly 1% in the same time frame. Most other major cryptos were also trading lower. It was the third consecutive day of crypto declines, which started late on Friday. Apple co-founder and Bitcoin advocate Steve Wozniak has praised Bitcoin's underlying mechanics in a recent interview, describing the cryptocurrency as being the only one that's pure gold mathematics. Wozniak had less glowing words for NFTs and wider cryptocurrency space, deriving most of its value from the hype and pointing to a track record of rip-offs in an oversaturated market. In February, Wozniak's TV show Unicorn Hunters launched its own dividend-paying cryptocurrency Unicoin. Wozniak serves as a panelist on the show, which debuted on Amazon Prime last May. In a similar vein to The Apprentice and Dragon's Den, it sees plucky entrepreneurs pitch business ideas to seasoned investors. Spanish banking multinational Santander is offering loans in Argentina tied to tokenized commodities in partnership with Argo Token, an agriculture commodities tokenized platform. This is the first time a bank has used blockchain technology and crypto assets to expand the agricultural credit market and unlock farmers' business potential, Fernando Bautista, head of the agribusiness at Santander Argentina, said in a statement. Santander has already delivered loans to Argentine farmers in February, and over the next 6 months, nearly 1,000 farmers are expected to get loans collateralized with tokens based on soybeans, corn, and wheat. Santander and Agro Token plan to offer the crypto-backed loans in Brazil in June and in the US in late 2022, according to Agro Token's co-founder Ariel Scalater. The three countries together comprise 70% of the global wheat, corn, and soybean production. According to Agro Token, each token represents a ton of grain that a farmer has sold and delivered to a grain elevator, which is then validated through a Proof of Gain Reserve test (POGR). After a debate over language that would have essentially banned Bitcoin, a vote on the European Union's Market in Crypto Assets (MiCA) legislation is set for March 14th next week. Dr. Stefan Berger, the member of the parliament in charge of shepherding MiCA, made an announcement via tweet. The parliament had been expected to approve the legislation last month, but the vote was put on hold over complaints from crypto industry advocates who objected to phrasing in the proposal that threatened to ban crypto companies from relying on energy-intensive proof of work (POW) mining. The regulation is intended to increase legal certainty surrounding crypto assets, particularly with regard to widespread concerns over the energy consumption involved in mining these currencies. Morgan Stanley holds more than 13 million shares of Grayscale Investment Bitcoin Trust (GBTC) across 17 portfolios at the end of 2021, regulatory filings showed, pointing to growing institutional investors' interest. The GBTC shares were valued at roughly $458 million, representing between 0.7% and 1.1% of the net assets in the respective funds, the filing showed. The $10.7 billion Morgan Stanley growth portfolio held about 4.3 million shares of GBTC valued at $147 million at the end of 2021, the most of any of the 17 funds. The share total in the fund was about 18% more than the roughly 3.6 million of GBTC shares it held at the end of the September. The Morgan Stanley Insight Fund also added more shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to its portfolio during the fourth quarter, a separate filing shows. That's all for today's news. For daily news and updates, keep watching cryptoTV. I am your news host, Parvati Nirban, signing off for now. See you tomorrow, same time in English News Bulletin. Have a wonderful day today.